One controversial play, one public statement. And now, the WNBA is facing another wave of intense criticism. After days of non-stop debate surrounding the incident involving Caitlin Clark, Alyssa Thomas has finally broken her silence. But instead of ending the controversy, her comments have sparked even more questions about player safety, officiating, and the league's response. Was this simply a hard basketball play? Or has the WNBA allowed a much bigger problem to grow? In today's video, we'll break down what really happened, what Alyssa Thomas said, how fans and the media reacted, and why this story continues to divide the basketball world. Let's get into it. The controversy began during a highly physical game involving Caitlin Clark and Alyssa Thomas. Following one sequence that quickly went viral, fans immediately began debating whether the contact was simply tough basketball or whether it crossed the line. Within hours, video clips spread across social media. Sports shows replayed the incident from multiple angles, and thousands of fans shared completely different opinions. Some believed Clark was once again receiving unusually physical treatment, while others argued that aggressive defense is simply part of professional basketball. But one thing was clear: the discussion had become much bigger than a single play. It had turned into another major debate about Caitlin Clark's treatment, officiating in the WNBA, and the league's handling of controversial moments. Then, Alyssa Thomas publicly addressed the situation, and that took the story in a completely new direction. For several days after the incident, Alyssa Thomas remained relatively quiet as the debate continued to grow. Fans wanted answers. Media outlets kept asking questions, and social media became flooded with opinions from both sides. Eventually, Thomas addressed the situation publicly. Rather than focusing only on the play itself, she spoke about the intense reaction that followed. She revealed that she had received abusive messages and threats online after the incident, saying that no player should have to experience that kind of treatment. Her comments immediately shifted the conversation. Many fans expressed sympathy, arguing that criticism should never turn into personal attacks or threats. At the same time, others insisted that discussing a controversial play is part of professional sports and continued to question whether the league had handled the on-court incident appropriately. In other words, Thomas's statement didn't end the debate, it expanded it. Now, the conversation was no longer just about one physical play. It had become a discussion about player safety, online abuse, media responsibility, and how quickly sports controversies can spiral far beyond the court. As reactions poured in, basketball analysts began asking another important question. Was the WNBA doing enough to address both the on-court controversy and the growing tension surrounding its players? That question would soon put even more pressure on the league. As the debate continued to dominate headlines, attention quickly shifted away from the players and toward the WNBA itself. Fans weren't just discussing the play anymore. They wanted to know how the league would respond. Some believed the officials handled the situation according to the rules and that physical basketball should remain part of the game. Others argued that the league needed to do more to protect its players and reduce unnecessary controversy before similar incidents happened again. The discussion became even bigger because Caitlin Clark isn't just another rookie or rising star. Since entering the WNBA, she has helped bring record television audiences, sold-out arenas, and millions of new fans to women's basketball. That level of attention means every controversial moment involving Clark receives far more coverage than a typical regular season play. Supporters say that increased attention is good for the league because it keeps women's basketball in the national spotlight. Critics argue that too much focus on one player can overshadow the rest of the league and create even more division among fans. Regardless of where people stand, one thing is difficult to ignore. Every major controversy involving Caitlin Clark now becomes a national story within hours. And with millions of people watching, every decision made by the league is examined more closely than ever before. As the conversation continued to grow, media personalities, former players, and basketball analysts all weighed in, each offering a different perspective on what this controversy really meant for the future of the WNBA. And that's where the story became even more complicated. As expected, the reaction from the basketball world was anything but unanimous. Sports analysts, former players, journalists, and fans all viewed the situation through different lenses. Some believed the incident had been blown out of proportion, arguing that physical play has always been part of professional basketball and that every player has to deal with tough defense. Others felt the controversy reflected a larger issue, saying the league must do more to reduce unnecessary flashpoints and ensure consistent officiating. Social media only made the divide even more obvious. One side defended Alyssa Thomas, pointing out that no athlete deserves online abuse or personal threats because of a game. The other side continued asking whether the on-court incident should have been handled differently and whether the league had missed an opportunity to calm the situation earlier. Meanwhile, sports media continued covering every new development, keeping the story in the headlines day after day. For the WNBA, this created both an opportunity and a challenge. The league is receiving more attention than ever before, but with that attention comes greater scrutiny. Every controversial call, every player reaction, and every official statement is now analyzed by millions of fans across television, YouTube, and social media. Whether people agreed or disagreed, one thing became clear. This was no longer just about a single game. It had become another defining moment in the WNBA's rapidly growing spotlight. As the headlines begin to slow down, one question still remains. What happens next? For Alyssa Thomas, the focus will return to basketball. Like every professional athlete, she'll be judged by her performance on the court, not by the noise surrounding one controversial moment. For Caitlin Clark, the spotlight isn't going away anytime soon. Every game she plays continues to attract millions of viewers, meaning every big play, hard foul, and controversial decision will likely generate national attention. And for the WNBA, this controversy serves as another reminder that the league is entering a new era. With record-breaking viewership and unprecedented media coverage, every decision, from officiating to public communication, is now under greater scrutiny than ever before. Whether you believe the incident was simply part of the game or think it deserved a stronger response, one thing is clear. The conversation surrounding the WNBA has never been bigger. The real challenge now isn't just handling one controversial play, it's maintaining consistency, protecting players, and ensuring that the focus remains on the incredible talent across the league. Only time will tell whether this moment becomes just another headline or a turning point for the future of women's basketball. Now we'd like to hear from you. Do you think the WNBA handled this situation the right way? Or should the league have done more? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more in-depth WNBA news, exclusive analysis, and the biggest stories surrounding Caitlin Clark and the league, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. One of the biggest reasons this controversy attracted so much attention is because it wasn't just about one game. It represented something much bigger. Over the past 2 seasons, the WNBA has experienced remarkable growth. Television audiences have increased, arenas have been packed with fans, and interest in women's basketball has reached levels the league has rarely seen before. Much of that attention has centered around Caitlin Clark, whose arrival brought millions of new viewers to the sport. With that growth comes higher expectations. Fans now expect consistent officiating, clear communication from the league, and fair treatment for every player on the court. When a controversial moment happens, people don't simply react to the play itself. They begin asking bigger questions. Is the league protecting its players? Are officials being consistent? Is the media helping explain the situation, or making it even more divisive? Those questions have become just as important as the game itself. For longtime WNBA fans, these debates are nothing new. But for millions of new viewers, this may be their first real impression of the league. That's why every controversial moment carries more weight than ever before. At the same time, it's important to remember that players are human. They compete with passion, make split-second decisions, and perform under enormous pressure. Strong opinions are part of sports. Personal attacks and threats are not. As the WNBA continues to grow, the challenge for everyone, the league, the players, the media, and the fans, will be finding the right balance between accountability, competition, and respect. And that may ultimately be the biggest lesson from this entire controversy. As this story continues to unfold, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The WNBA is operating in a completely different environment than it was just a few years ago. Every game is watched more closely. Every controversial call is analyzed from every angle. And every statement from players or league officials can shape the public conversation within minutes. That level of attention brings new opportunities, but it also brings greater responsibility. Players are expected to compete at the highest level while dealing with constant media coverage and millions of opinions online. League officials are expected to make consistent decisions under intense public scrutiny. And fans expect transparency, fairness, and accountability whenever a major controversy takes place. Whether you agree with Alyssa Thomas, support Caitlin Clark, or simply love the game of basketball, one thing should unite everyone. The focus should remain on the sport itself. Healthy debate is part of basketball. Different opinions are part of sports. But respect for the players, the game, and the facts should always come first. This controversy will eventually fade, but the conversations it started about officiating, player safety, media attention, and the future of the WNBA are likely to continue for a long time. And that may end up being this story's biggest impact, not the play itself, but the important questions it raised about where the league goes from here. What do you think? Did the WNBA handle this situation the right way? Was Alyssa Thomas treated fairly after speaking out? And what changes, if any, would you like to see from the league moving forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this in-depth breakdown, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more professional WNBA news, analysis, and the biggest stories surrounding Caitlin Clark and the league. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.